Hello and welcome to another fun-filled edition of Adam's Music Box. Now, people who will be familiar with this channel will know that Procol Harum are one of my absolute favorite bands of all time. They were a band that sort of defied any easy categorization. Were they psychedelic? Were they blues rock? Were they progressive rock? Were they folk rock? Were they sort of old-time musical piano rock? Were they classically tinged rock? Were they rock at all? And all of those things really apply. What they truly were a band that, although all of the members contributed, it was at the end of the day a band shaped by the piano, songwriting, and voice of Gary Brooker. He, of course, didn't write the lyrics, that would be Keith Reid, but that songwriting partnership of Brooker and Reid is, in my view, just as big as Liebert and Stoller, just as big as McCartney and Lennon, John and Taupin, make the list of duos continue. But that songwriting duo at the heart of Procol Harum created beautiful work. But Gary also, as a solo artist, came out with some great stuff. There was one song in particular called The Long Goodbye from the 80s that he did. That's one of the most touching and beautiful songs of all time. It's tear-jerking, as is frankly the suite of music from the final of the original Procol Harum albums, The Worm and the Tree from the Something Magic album. But whether writing grandiose pieces like In Hell 'Twas an I, which obviously that was a band piece, but Gary obviously put his stamp on that, or whether it's, songs like Kaleidoscope, A Christmas Camel, Simple Sister, As Strong as Samson, The Idol, New Lamps for Old, what a song that is, Grand Hotel. So just everything Gary was a part of, either as a main writer, as a collaborator, he put his signature on it, and he was a person that was so down to earth. He had a poet's soul. And he left us far too soon, but he was truly one of the gentlemen, a gentleman poet pianist is how I describe him. Watch any of his interviews and you'll know exactly what I mean. Rest always in power, Gary Brooker. Gone for too long, but we'll celebrate your birthday posthumously and your great musical legacy always on this channel. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Take care.